A lot of people have asked me to make a room tour, so here it is. My internet is set up in the hallway downstairs where I've connected 2 internet cables to a connector that I can use to extend the reach. The cables then follow up on my door so it doesn't get damaged while I open it. My door is just a normal wooden door like any other door would be, and when I open it you can see my room, my glorious piece of art. My room isn't as big as most people think. It's actually pretty small compared to what I used to have. On this mysterious thing right here in my room, there's a short. And underneath this shorts, we have my backpack that I bring to university. I've had this since like 6th grade, so it's nothing special. Moving on, we have my bed. It's what I sleep in. I normally don't make it nice, but I did it just cause you came over. I also have this thing on my wall that my stepsister did for me when I was like 10, but I still love it though. Makes my room less boring. I also have these cheap LED lights that I usually keep on red. It's just more comfier for my eyes, and red is my favorite color. You can see the connector over there. I have this 1000-piece puzzle framed on my wall that I got from my mom. Over here I got my covers for my glasses that I own. I currently have 3 pairs. I also own the Samsung tab that I usually draw on, and next to it is my phone and my old phone case. On the shelf next to it I got my passport and my Siemens Fair book that I use for international travel when I work on sea. If you didn't know, I've been working on the sea for 2 years and it's one of my favorite things I've ever experienced. All from big waves, bad weather with thunderstorms, and Shrek dancing in our freshwater tanks. But currently, as I said earlier, I'm now studying for university. I'm also a massive Juice WRLD fan and got all his albums in a vinyl plate. Oh, and there's Toy Freddy that I got from the second FNAF movie. He gets a bit quirky at both nights and days. Now, this is a popcorn container that I got from seeing the second movie, and it's actually pretty good quality. We got some hand balsam that I've never used because it smells like coconut, and I don't really like coconuts too much. Then we got the 3 things that I love the most. The bear and the ball at the sea used to belong to my previous dog we had before he sadly passed. They still smell like him, so if I miss him, I can still make it seem like he's still here. And the wristband on top was from my granny. I got it long ago, well, 3 years, and it has my name on it. I got it while she was on her deathbed, and I still wear it when I feel like it. Then we got the 3 boys, SCP-173, Chaos Insurgency, and 106. The MTF is also on its way, eventually, and I'll have 1 more to my collection. And a fun fact, I bought 2 SCP-173s, 1 for me and 1 for a guy that is no longer welcome in the ASL community, but he got lost in travel, so 2 years later I asked to get a replacement and received the last ever produced SCP-173 plushie. Underneath all this, I got a cigar set that I got from my uncle, but I rarely smoke. I just keep it as a collection if I have some friends that do. I also got some lightsabers that I 3D printed, one of them being an accurate Kylo Ren's crossguard since he's my favorite character. Hot take. And the other one is just a normal Lego lightsaber. I personally play a lot of VR, which is why I bought myself a full set of Slime VR trackers for my movement to be better. They're much cheaper and a more brittle alternative than Vive trackers. And of course, can't play VR without a VR headset. My take is the Quest 3. It is a standalone headset that I use to watch YouTube with if I'm traveling. And I got this with this third-party custom headrest thingy. Haters gonna say it's fake, but here's my custom PlayStation 5 that I got from my local swimming pool. I did a favor in a sauna, and now I own my very own PS5. Here's what I usually wear, 1 pair for winter and 1 pair for the summer. They're super comfy. Next to them, I have my previous screen. I'll tell you more about this soon, but sadly, it isn't functional anymore. Over by my bed, I have this big power plug extender. I use this to plug in my charger for my phone, my LED lights, which I haven't put up yet, and my heating blanket. I also have a water cooker in my room for warm drinks during the winter. There's also a second plug down under my desk for all my monitors, my PC, and my components. And a big black square is what I use for a footrest, as I find it more comfortable to keep my feet up while sitting. Up on the edge of my desk, you can find the water cooker that I mentioned. It's been in service for 3 years, but it was more convenient to keep in my room as I drink a lot of what we call here in Norway, soft. Now, my PC is also at the edge of my desk. I keep my LED lights on it for some cheap face lighting, as it's actually pretty good for that. I also have my USB-C connection twirled around my special link cable that I use for my VR headset. I just usually stuff this under my PC when I'm not using it to save space. The thing you're seeing here is the Rode anti-USB plus microphone. It's a really good cheap microphone that I can connect to my phone with via USB-C cable. Now, let me tell a little about the setup that I got. My headset is a SteelSeries Arctic wired, they're incredible for hearing, and I've had this since 2019. They currently have a value of about 127 USD. I have this special cup that I got from winning an scp-sl partner event, and well, it speaks for itself. I use this daily, and it's from your beloved. My mouse is a glorious Model O. It is a super lightweight mouse, and I'm never gonna change it again. Current value is around $80. My mouse mat is also from 2019. It's been well used, and I'm buying a new one soon. It looks dirty because, well, it is. Current value is around like $60. I got a regular PS4 controller for like $20. These don't count, but Skull Candy Crusher Evo, best headphones are bass in my opinion. And here's the thing I drink. We got Brennsoft and some pear soda. Actually quite underrated, I'm not gonna lie. Now boom! For my face cam, it's called the Elgato face cam. It is 60 FPS and 1080p and valued around 129 USD. Behind my PC, I have a lot of different USB devices and display ports. It is a mess, and honestly, I've tried, but it is impossible to make it look nice. My chair is from Secret Lab, and it is the Titan Evo. It is mostly occupied by my silly goobster, but I forgive him. On their website today, the chair is valued around 449 USD. Now, let me turn on my PC and we'll look at the technical stuff. The screen I got here is the MSI MP3 346CQRF X24. It's a 240Hz ultra-wide and is valued around 379 USD. The screen above is a Gigabyte M27Q, another 240Hz valued about 323 USD, and is currently on an iGlue monitor stand valued about $100. The Samsung monitor you see is a 1080 by 1920 with a 60Hz. It is an ancient debris and I deadass cannot find it on the web. My current keyboard is a Black Widow V3. I got this cool lighting effect where it ripples when I press a key. The value of this one is around 86 USD. My armrest is also like 6 years old and has been used for a long time, so it's pretty worn out as you can see. Now for my most used item, my microphone. This is a Shure SM7B, and as you can hear, it's a pretty good investment. It's about 439 USD. One of my favorite things that I've got have to be the Go XLR. It is the device that sits on my desk where I can control all my audio channels and customize my voice in real time. It is great from getting all the good vocal tones out of my voice and into my mic. This is currently at a value of about 269 USD. Another fancy device I got is Stream Deck XL. It's a tool where you can make custom bindings to literally anything you want. It is popular for being used while streaming and is one of the first additional equipment that I bought. This is valued at about 220 USD. So in total, without all the parts of my PC, I get to a sum of ish 2,660 USD for all my equipment in total. If you're curious about what I stuff on my PC, then I'll leave that in the description below. Hopefully I managed to get everything you're curious about. Any final thing to do is thank you for watching and wishing you a nice day onwards.